2018 Volvo XC60 review. Volvo debuted its small luxury crossover, the XC60, back with the 2010 model year. Over the years, we've given it high marks for the powerful engines, roomy cargo area and strong safety scores. For 2018, Volvo's got a completely redesigned XC60 to be had. Much with the model's core appeal remains, but the 2011 model might be more stylish, features a bit more room for rear passengers and contains new engine options. The 2018 Volvo XC60 is actually a scaled-down version with a larger 3-row XC90. And because from the similarities between both structures, smaller, lighter XC60 can use all with the same powertrains through the XC90 model line. The XC60 T5 is powered by the turbocharged 2.0-litre 4-cylinder engine, but we like the 316 horsepower output with the mid-level T6. It's the very best match for your XC60, also it gives up nearly 1 mpg usually to the T5. All new for 2018 could be the T8 plug-in hybrid. It uses the T6S engine they are driving the front wheels plus an electric motor to push the rears. It delivers a big start power 400 horsepower with just a small benefit in fuel economy. It's also somewhat more expensive. Since the XC60's best strengths will be in areas in addition to soul-stirring performance, for no reason see much appeal within the T8. No matter which powertrain you select, though, you'll appreciate that Volvo has upped the posh factor within the XC60, particularly if it comes to interiors and amenities. It matches what there are inside an Audi or Mercedes-Benz, though a distinctly Swedish style. We are most in awe of the top inscription trim, which advantages of exquisitely formed wood inlays plus a leather-wrapped dashboard. The sport-focused design comes exclusively with paddle shifters and sport seats, and it also sits amongst the inscription and base trim, which Volvo now calls Momentum in place of Dynamic. Although the XC60 hasn't quite developed the dynamic chops to own toe-to-toe with all the sportier variants in segment, there isn't any doubt Volvo will attract new fans using this type of XC60 generation. Notably, we picked the Volvo XC60 T8 as one of best hybrid cars and since one in the best luxury SUVs due to this year. What's new for 2018? The Volvo XC60 continues to be completely redesigned for 2018. Volvo gives a nice array of engines and trim levels for your XC60 to accommodate a variety of buyers. However, we know the T6 inscription model strikes the most beneficial balance of power versus cost and access towards the XC60's more distinctive luxury amenities. For instance, foot-zone climate control and massaging front seats. The inscription model's interior also oozes elegance using its beautifully shaped wood inlays, a leather-wrapped dash and vertical bar front grille. Trim levels and features. The 2018 Volvo XC60 can be purchased in 3 trims that provide varied degrees of luxury and sport-focused amenities, Momentum, design and inscription. All trims is usually paid with any with the available powertrains designated by T5, T6 and T8. The T5 comes with a turbocharged 2.0-litre 4-cylinder engine 250 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, as well as the T6 includes a similar engine but turbo and supercharging 316 horsepower, 295 lb-ft. The range-topping T8 is often a plug-in hybrid that combines the T6 engine which has a rear electric motor 400 horsepower, 472 lb-ft. All models are equipped solely through an 8-speed automatic and all-wheel drive. The base Momentum trim is fairly nicely equipped, featuring 18-inch alloy wheels. T6 models come standard with 19-inch wheels, LED headlights and taillights, automatic high beams, automatic wipers, integrated roof rails, and also a power liftgate with programmable height. Inside, fierce leather upholstery, aluminium interior trim, a panoramic sunroof, automatic dual-zone climate control, an auto-dimming mirror, 10-way power adjustable front seats, driver seat memory settings, 6040 split folding rear seats with rear under-seat storage, a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system, a 10-speaker stereo audio, satellite radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto smartphone integration, and Bluetooth connectivity. On the protection front, all XC60s have lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation and protection, oncoming collision avoidance mitigation with bike pedestrian animal detection, driver attention alert, road sign recognition, plus a 4-year complimentary subscription to Volvo On Call with remote engine start. The redesigned trim includes everything above and adds 19-inch wheels, special exterior trim, LED front fog lights and cornering lights, keyless entry, a hands-free liftgate, illuminated door handles, front sport seats with manual seat bottom extensions, navigation, a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, tire paddles and selectable drive modes. The inscription trim includes most on the design features but has different exterior and interior trim and lacks the game seats and leader paddles. Instead, you receive 20-inch wheels, 4-zone climate control, a leather-wrapped dash, ambient interior lighting as well as a cooled glove box. A quantity of small packages and standalone choices are available on the bed space momentum trim if you can't need or want everything offered in the design or inscription trims. Features, for instance, the digital gauge cluster, navigation system, interior ambient lighting, and keyless entry are typically available. The Vision package is accessible to all models and includes auto-dimming and folding side mirrors, blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alert, and back and front parking sensors with semi-autonomous parking assist. The Convenience package adds adaptive cruise control, power folding rear seat and headrests, heated wiper blades, power child locks for your ear doors, home link, one more 12-volt power outlet, along with Momentum models includes selectable drive mode settings, keyless entry, as well as a hands-free tailgate. Adding the Advance package equips all models with turn-adapting LED headlights, a 360-degree parking camera system, headlight washers along with a head-up display. The Luxury Seat package exists exclusively on inscription models, also it helps elevate the XC60's amenities on top of the competition. Included is premium leather upholstery, upgraded front seats heated, ventilated and massaging with power lower cushion extenders and adjustable lateral support, heated rear seats along with a heated leader. The most critical standalone options have an adaptive air suspension that delivers adjustments in body height and damping along with a 15-speaker Bowers & Wilkins premium audio system. Trim tested. Each vehicle typically will come in multiple versions which might be fundamentally similar. The S within this review provide our first drive with the 2018 Volvo XC60 T6 AWD turbo and supercharged 2.0 litres inline-4, 8-speed automatic, AWD. A nice and easy to modulate with linear pedal feel and also the perfect number of initial bite. Under heavy braking, they are stable and consistent and therefore are able to stop the XC60 in 114 feet, which results on the segment leaders built with all-season tires. Steering. The steering feels slightly sensitive at highway speeds, which requires micro-corrections through the driver. But it's also vigorous at lower speeds in addition to being precise as you'll ever need. With advancements, Volvo should be in a position to tune the steering for many instances, also it falls a little short. Handling. In comfort mode, the XC60 returns lots of body movement over bumpy pavement and through turns. In dynamic, the auto feels more button down, however the large panoramic sunroof can make it feel somewhat toe-heavy. The optional air suspension is a lot from clumsy, however some competitors are superior. Drivability, the engine can surge slightly at times while at partial throttle, likely when there's engine boost being generated two ways. The transmission for that most part is quite responsive, and simply on several occasions it took additional time than likely to downshift and accelerate. Off-road, the XC60 has an off-road mode, which adds to the suspension almost two when equipped using the optional air suspension. Still, with all the extra ground clearance, the XC60 isn't designed for hardcore off-road duty but should handle inclement weather without issue. Comfort. Seating comfort is usually a strong point in the XC60 thanks largely to highly adjustable and massaging seats and soft padded surfaces. The fourth-zone climate control is a rather luxurious feature within this inscription model, though Volvo hasn't quite optimized the oxygen suspension for ride comfort. Seat comfort. The XC60 has excellent seats, also it is typically the only one to use class to supply an optional massage function. The cushions hold the right level of firmness and front heat and ventilation, and procedures work well. Adjustments are wide-ranging, therefore it helps to use a touchscreen menu for guidance. Ride comfort. Even in their softest suspension setting, the optional air suspension isn't quite effective at filtering out high-frequency road vibrations. The ride isn't harsh, but we'd call it a bit busy for just a luxury crossover. The large 20-inch wheels that come using the inscription trim could possibly be partly at fault. Noise and vibration. Some road and wind noise permeates the cabin, however, not to a distracting degree. At low speeds the supercharger whine becomes audible. Not exactly a refined luxury sound, however it isn't off-putting either. There are quieter cabins, including the Mercedes GLCs, but overall the XC60 is quieter than many. Climate control. The climate control can be quite effective at keeping cabin temps pleasant. Adjusting temps and fan speed for front and back zones is not difficult and elegant. Our one gripe will be the system is slow to stress on startup, and you've to cycle through all seat heating cooling settings to change them off. Interior. With rotary dial controls the brand new norm, we're surprised Volvo was in a position to make the touchscreen be well because it does. The cabin is actually comparatively spacious, with all the exception of a panoramic sunroof eating up slightly headroom. Still, Volvo went above expectations intended for visibility. Ease of use. The infotainment is intuitive and user-friendly, giving an answer to swipe and pinch gestures like those for just a smartphone, with response times which might be good. The gauge cluster controls are a bit less straightforward but ultimately all too easy to use. Function follows form. Getting and jetting out. The doors open fairly wide, however the step over could prove just a little high in abbreviation or elderly individuals. The front windshield is raked back an affordable amount, so head clearance is almost sacrificed and taller folks probably have issues. The rear door openings are squared off and do not pose these problems. Driving position. With lots of seat adjustability and also a good number of range inside the adjustable steering column, there are not many drivers who won't be in a position to find a good driving position. We could use just a little more tilt functionality for your bottom cushion, but that is nearly a non-issue. Roominess. The front seats possess a fair volume of legroom and seat width, though the panoramic sunroof that's standard on all models consumes some headroom. Back seat accommodations are very good in general, and also middle seat comfort isn't too compromised, so that it should help 3 average-size adults. Visibility. Volvo did its homework. The front pillars are narrow from the right plane, which has a space involving the side view mirror to ensure critical 45-degree view isn't obstructed. The generous window space inside the back, the power-folding rear headrests plus the optional 360-degree cameras make life easy. Quality. Volvo really elevated its build quality with this particular XC60 generation. It's not quite approximately Mercedes level, nevertheless it's definitely a measure above BMW and Jaguar. The interior materials feel of quality, as there are real craftsmanship with the pieces, specifically the wood trim with this inscription model. Utility. Utility is the one other strong area to the XC60, thanks with the generous cargo area and smart configuration options. If you possess the optional air suspension, it is possible to impress your buddies by reducing the car in the tailgate area. Small item storage. In-cabin stowage is decent to get a luxury vehicle. The felt, rubber-lined door pockets keep loose items from causing noise, all of which will hold a bigger water bottle. A modest center armrest bin with 2 USB ports will work for phones. Rear storage is limited to your small door pocket along with a shallow armrest bin. Cargo space, at 29.7 cubic feet together with the rear seats up, volume is generous for that segment, along with an innovative cargo cover may slide up or retract completely. The air suspension lets you lower the rear end height for easier loading. Fears both a ski pass-through and 6040 split folding seatbacks. Child safety seat accommodation. The latch anchors are situated under easy access flip covers and inside the usual places for the outboard seats with 2 top tethers for the back. You can mount only 2 child seats, but there has to be enough space for rear-facing child seats. Technology. Volvo backs up its new modern styling using a ton of well-executed technology. It may not be innovating as boldly since the German manufacturers, even so the features and driving aids available inside the XC60 are, for that most part, invaluable. Audio and navigation. The Bowers and Wilkins speakers is one of the most advanced and configurable offerings we've run into. Sleek yellow speaker cones peeking out behind decorative metal grills is often a nice aesthetic pairing together with the rich sound and deep bass. The NAF system's modern graphics are almost as nice. Smartphone integration. Device integration is extremely good. You can pair your phone while around the move and judge between Apple CarPlay and Android Auto or use Volvo's native Bluetooth interface. That also works well. We appreciate the belief that CarPlay and Auto don't occupy your entire infotainment screen, too. Driver aids. Of note, Pilot Assist's firm hold on tight lane position feels more autonomous than most systems. The forward collision warning returned a couple of false positives from parked cars. Otherwise, all driving aids are very effective and are simple to access and switch on and off anytime through the touchscreen. Voice control. Voice control functionality is pretty extensive, with all the normal functions linked to phone calls and navigation. But you are able to also control the climate control, seat heaters and ventilation, and tire heat. Holding about the button summons Google Voice or Siri in case your phone is connected.